What up? Jesse here. You're listening to the Epoch of Incredulity, Season 4, Episode number 120, recorded September 19th, 2023, featuring commentary from Comrades Scott, Joe, and myself. On the docket, you got the UAW strike expanding beyond the American borders, weaponizing misinformation against the exploiting class, Fetterman's revolutionary proletarian wardrobe, the cost of propping up dirty energy moguls, the F-35 that got away, Modi's international hit job, a mega flood in Libya, legal abuse of disabled children, a big shoe, and the reason Maduro looks so damn happy. Slams courtesy of Southeast Asia.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do us a favor, enjoy our epoch.
Now, 7 months later, General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, tells CBS Sunday Morning the balloon wasn't spying.
The intelligence community, their assessment, and it's a high-confidence assessment, that there was no intelligence collection by that balloon.
Century equivalent of like Dave Rubin or like Ben Shapiro or some shit, or Jordan Peterson.
Now, is this a was this an opinion you already held, or is this an opinion that you're now coming to because of what I said?
No, this is what I already held on to.
All right, we're talking about Friedrich Nietzsche over here.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. Yeah, and how I just think Nietzsche is bullshit. And that's really it.
He's a nihilist dipshit who doesn't understand Marx.
Yeah, true. I mean, there is a lot of debate as to whether or not he was a nihilist or if he rejected nihilism or whatever. I don't really care.
I don't think he's a nihilist.
I kind of just don't care. Again, I'm not going to talk about Nietzsche and philosophy outside of because I haven't read any of it directly. I have a little bit, but very limited. What I'll say is that I do have my beliefs and stuff. Okay, let's throw out fucking terms that your motherfuckers can go look up. I am a Deleuzian. I do believe in we fucking talked about it on the show before. I do believe in the conclusions that Deleuze and Guattari came to in A Thousand Plateaus and Anti-Oedipal. I do believe in those conclusions, and I am a Marxist, and I know what Nietzsche is. I know what Nietzsche said about socialism and said about Marx, and I know what modern Nietzscheans and this all leads to Nick Land and fucking bullshit Moldbug and Dark Enlightenment and shit and I don't know. There's this whole drive to disprove Marxism and disprove Deleuzian philosophy and stuff. And the problem is it's already been proven by time. That's the thing is that COVID pretty much proved everything that is true about capitalism and everything that's true about the social spaces and the body without organs and stuff. So it's what are you talking about? You can't disprove these ideas at this point because they already bore fruit through the material conditions are our actual reality. So go fuck yourself. I don't know. It's just I am just personally trying to tap back into existentialism and philosophy and stuff. It's a lot of it is just marred in. There's always Nietzsche, basically. There's always the Nietzsche of it all. And I always took to Nietzsche in a different sense. And I didn't understand that there were there really is this appeal to elitism. There's an appeal to the aristocracy. The second your philosophy begins with, okay, we shouldn't treat all people as equals. It's okay, fine, fuck you. Just garbage, get out of here, And so that's... There's a lot of that in Nietzschean philosophy, and the whole conceptualization of the Ubermensch is really probably exactly. We burp at the conceptualization of the Ubermensch because it's really problematic. Because if we're all regular humans, then how the fuck do we even recognize an Ubermensch? And if we have an entire society of Ubermenches, again, it's it gets into egoism and it gets into sterner thought of just wait, when you actually think about this in practice, we can't all be living in our own fucking pyramid. What is this? It doesn't gel. It doesn't work with an actual society. And I don't know. Also, I don't want to talk about it right now, but I do want to get into existential Marxism and how I believe you can tie the two together. Or is that what I was talking about? Does that relate to the thing you were talking about with quantum mechanics?
I don't know.
So
I knew I wasn't going to be able to articulate this on the fly, so I didn't even make an attempt. On Discord, I had referenced Nietzsche's rejection of atomism, or the notion that complex structures are all comprised of indivisible components, instead favoring a model of the physical world in which matter is a consequence of the interplay of forces. I guess I just thought it was interesting how dialectical materialism could be taken to either of two opposing logical extremes, with the objective, static universe governed by universal physical laws on one hand, and a universe in flux governed by competing forces on the other hand. It reminded me of the particle-wave duality in quantum physics, the subjectivity of time dilation, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Basically that there is validity to Nietzsche's interpretation, but that a picture that's either completely black or completely white is insufficient to explain the physical universe. To illustrate this, I described the emergence of the fundamental forces over time, and then I posted a little line graph depicting the evolution of energy density, with the universe initially dominated by radiation, and then matter, and eventually by dark energy. I often stress the importance of historical materialism by saying that, quote, nothing happens in a vacuum, but in the case of dark energy, it very literally does. Since the beginning of time, dark energy has remained perfectly constant, but its influence on the physical structures of the universe, to the extent that they existed, were negligible until fairly recently on the grand scale of things. Thus, if our species were established later on in the timeline of the universe, we would be unable to directly observe other galaxies, and the origin of the elements that make up our world, like supernovae, could easily remain a complete mystery to us. We would appear to be alone in the universe. So I thought, with that perspective, nihilism and solipsism could be more easily justified. Scott, if you're listening, I know it's probably not as interesting as you were hoping it would be, but there it is.
Basically, like, Jean-Paul Sartre's whole version of existentialism is like radical freedom. You make your own morality. It is Nietzschean to a degree, but it's not as nihilistic and not as pro-fascist. And, you know, the whole, his relationship to Marxism and stuff, he tried to figure out, like, how can you achieve that radical freedom through, like, a Marxist lens and stuff. And basically, the conclusion that I think is easy to come to is that, like, you have to recognize that, like, the dialectic is real, and, like, the reason why we are here and can practice the level of, like, freedom that we want is through the history and the dialectic that has led to this moment. And if that's the case, then we have to keep pushing it forward, and we have to allow it so that we can get to the place where everybody can achieve their own radical freedom, which is kind of what Marx wrote about. I forget what piece of writing it was, but he, like, talked about, like, I can fish on this day, I can tailor on this day, I can do whatever I want, you know? And I'm doing it because I want to, not because no one's made, not because, like, I'm being forced to. And I'm also doing it because, like, I want to, like, share in the, you know, fruits of my labor and stuff. And it's not because anybody's forcing me to, it's because I am unalienated from these things, and I do it out of the pure pleasure and desire and the end in and of itself. Because, again, if you are accepting, like, if you're accepting a post-theological reality, if you're accepting, like, the God is dead whole thing, then achieving your own radical freedom... Oh, God, I just lost my train of thought. Fuck. Somebody say something. I think everything I was saying up until that point was very valid. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's all right. While you were talking, it kind of occurred to me, actually, that, like, I can't even recall ever reading Nietzsche on purpose, but, like, I mean, in a lot of ways, like, he did have similar critiques to Marxist critiques, but, like, rather than advancing it further, when you said, you know, all of Marx's theory has been proven out because of the developments that we've experienced in late stage capitalism, I wouldn't say that is entirely true, because Marx didn't have...
I more specifically mean, like, when I say that specifically, I do mean, like, more like Deleuzian arguments and his philosophy, like, of the, like, because literally COVID was a moment of a society without a society. It was a body without organs. And so, like, that's really what I meant. I think Marx has been proven in other ways, but, like, I don't know if all of it has been proven, but I just wanted to push. And I think what I was going to say earlier is that, like, there kind of is, like, in a godless world, there is no reason not to just, like, I don't know. I don't understand the whole like giving into like hopelessness and stuff. I think there's no at that point in a godless world, you have to embrace nature and like humanity, and you have to like there's your god, like there's your pursuit, you know, and that's what you need to keep pushing forward. So there, sorry, the naturalist argument. God damn it! Fuck you, Nietzsche.
Well, it doesn't help his that Hitler drew a lot of inspiration from Nietzsche's philosophy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Like the whole Ubermensch thing is like the basis for like the whole concept of Aryanism.
yeah. Jordan Peterson hates Nietzsche.
Eric Fromm, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, Eric Fromm, yeah, fuck.
Yeah, well, Eric Fromm took like the logical continuation of if God is dead, then how do we derive values? And he has a pretty logical answer to that, which is just that we make them. We decide
Yeah.
what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and Nietzsche argued that like in a God is dead context that like even honesty and like truth don't apply anymore. And it's like, dude, like if God is dead, then honesty and truth matter more. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know. He's just weird guy. Fuck him. Edgelord. Fucking early edgelord Redditor, basically. Shopped at Hot Topic in the 18th century.
He does kind of seem almost like this sort of Jordan Peterson before his time, just like being contrarian for the fuck of it. But not in a cool way, not like Diogenes. It's in a lame way. But the other thing I was going to say is that I wasn't going to say that Marx has been disproven. I was going to say that Marx didn't have like the context, like he wasn't able to see those crises through to some sort of tipping point or lack thereof. So I think theorists that built on his work, like Lenin and Mao and Ho Chi Minh, the way that like Marxism was used as a foundation and then further developed for capitalism outside of what was then the imperial core, those things have been proven out. It just takes a little bit of time, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Sartre did say that, like, if you are an existentialist, you have to, by principle, be an anti-colonialist, because colonialism, you know, is oppression. Basically, like, any forms of oppression, you have to fight against any form of oppression. Because, like, if you want radical freedom, any oppression will prevent you from that. So you must be an anti-colonialist.
God damn it.
The other thing that I was going to say about Nietzsche, and this is just because I fucking read the Wikipedia on Nietzsche, is that it seemed like the only religion that he painted as being like a true representation of its ideals, at least at the time of writing, was like Buddhism. And it's interesting that Nietzsche held on to the concept of the dialectic because like it is a very Buddhist notion that like I don't exist and you don't exist. Our relationship is what makes either of us exist. And that is kind of a dialectical framework for thinking about human relationships and like subjective experiences and everything. But scientific socialism also acknowledges that there is like an underlying reality there. And it's not that nothing actually exists until we interact with it. It's that Marxism, rather than being some kind of like psychotherapy, it distinguishes itself as a philosophy by putting the onus on the person who practices Marxism to actually make that change rather than just doing like fucking social experiments in their head.
Rather than just
podcasting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do stuff, man.
I'm talking about me too. I mean,
That's true. It's true, and that's what I meant when I said like I don't think that the relationship people have to their the media they consume has any direct correlation to the impact they have on the world, but like there is definitely value in just pure political education. I mean, even recently, like it's allowed me to build relationships with people that otherwise I probably wouldn't have really been able to connect with. But that's also taken time. Like it's taken a lot of time for me to be able to actually interpret theory and then be able to like reflect it back into the world and kind of see what is purely just like some theoretical phenomenon and what is actually applicable from day-to-day life. Like not once have I ever held an AK-47. So some of it,
I don't know,
but other chunks of it, being able to like meet people where they're at and not amplifying the incorrect reactionary false representation of a given social group or whatever. Like, all that stuff is incredibly useful to understand, even beyond a purely political struggle.
How does the not holding an AK-47 factor into that? What? I'm interested. What?
I have the little red book, and
Oh.
a lot of it's about the armed struggle.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I've read a lot of theory in general. I mentioned Che Guevara earlier. Like,
Oh, baby.
he writes a lot about guerrilla warfare. He didn't really write, like, he gave speeches, you know, he gave oral. He was like the hype man.
I mean, a little bit more than just the hype man, but yeah.
He was also a hype man. How was that?
How about that?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Do you think Che Guevara would be hyped for the UAW?
Oh, most
Strike?
definitely. Most definitely.
I don't know.
I know Lula is.
Oh, okay then.
Because Lula actually sent his labor minister to the U.S.
That's cool. That's cool as fuck, actually.
to convey solidarity of the Brazilian people on behalf of Lula.
God damn, that's cool as fuck. That's a proper president, people. That's a proper leader.
Well, let me say, both Che and Fidel Castro were very, like, supportive of the American working class. There's, like, video of
Castro
saying in English,
Oh shit.
I love the American people. It's the American
Yeah, exactly.
capitalists and politicians that are, like, the, you know, the parasites.
Different breed. Yeah. They are a different breed, folks.
They were just
Talk
built
about the
different,
strike.
and not in a good way.
Yeah. Talk about that sweet, sweet strike.
Tastes so
No, it
sweet.
is-
Yeah, it does.
It is day 5, and
Good lord.
day 5 of the UAW strike, and Ford is now actually facing 2 simultaneous strikes from 2 major labor unions in 2 different countries at the same time.
Who's the other union?
Unifor in Canada. Unifor is Canada's largest private sector union. They represent 5,700 workers at a Ford plant in Canada that just went on strike today.
Fix or repair daily. That's what Ford stands for.
They've got to deal with Unifor's 5,700 striking workers in Canada, and they've got to deal with 5,700 workers or whatever the fuck UAW workers in the U.S. who are also striking. And Shawn Féin, which, you know, it's funny, every time I read or say that name, it sounds a lot like
Sinn Féin.
It sounds a lot like Sinn Féin in my head.
Yes!
It's suspiciously close.
Which is funny because he has like that same kind of adversarial vibe that Sinn Féin does.
Should start a conspiracy theory. Anyways.
Sinn Féin's been in the news a lot lately in Irish politics. Things have progressed to the point where it's not a question of will Sinn Féin win the next election, it's by like how much. But like, I digress. Shawn Féin, the head of the auto workers union, publicly issued an ultimatum to the 3 corporations that they have until noon this Friday
I'm gonna miss that.
to, if serious progress isn't made in contract negotiations by noon this Friday, the strike will expand to more plants. And
No, it'll be awesome.
the 3 companies have already made a bunch of unforced errors to begin with, not even a week into the strike. So, like, this is going to hurt them more. And
Who are the 3 companies?
Ford, GM, and Stellantis, which is
Stellantis.
Stellantis is Chrysler's parent.
No, I know who.
company.
Yeah. I know who they are. They own a lot of people.
And Fain is quoted as saying that we will keep pushing. It doesn't matter how long this is going to take. Right before the strike, he was actually quoting Malcolm X.
Wait, is that the UAW president guy?
Yeah.
That's so like, and I don't mean this, but like, he is such like a white guy, so it's so funny. It's so funny.
He is white as shit.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my god. Anyways, Stellantis owns fucking everybody, like Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, fucking Jeep, Maserati, Ram. God, they own a lot of people.
Yeah, they're like the Luxottica of car companies.
Well, I mean, Dodge though.
Whatever.
The Charger looks nice. Anyways, yeah. So, what exact Malcolm X quote was he quoting?
I forget the exact quote, but it was something about like the quote about like freedom of like we are going to go to like every by all means necessary to achieve what we need.
We want freedom by any means necessary. We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary. We don't think that we should have to sit around and wait for some segregationist congressmen and senators to make up their mind that our people are due now some degree of civil rights. No, we want it now, or we don't think anybody should have it.
Yeah, Fain said yesterday that, quote, we're not going to keep waiting around forever while they drag this out, and we're not messing around. And he's also basically said that we're going to keep, like, applying more and more pain, like economic pain, until they just bend the knee.
Wow. That's like, considering the language that we've heard from, like, the writer's strike, and how, like, the producers are like, we'll bleed everybody dry until they, like, lose their houses and stuff. To hear, like, a union president saying that that's what they're going to do to the company is like, yeah, it's pretty rad. It's pretty fucking rad.
They've already been doing that because, like, the auto workers' strategy, if I had to describe it in an oversimplified manner, basically the way I would describe it is they're engaging in, like, asymmetric class warfare.
They're choosing the plants to go on strike to put pressure in, like, certain markets and stuff.
No, but they're also, like, doing a bunch of disinformation and misdirection.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
To keep the companies guessing. So, like, Ford, GM, and Stellantis don't actually know which plants that are going to be struck, and they've been having to just guess. Because
hilarious.
The UAW...
That's awesome, yeah.
...leaked bogus information about, like, who they were going to go after.
I hadn't heard about that. That's awesome, yeah.
And so the companies took the bait and started moving, like, a bunch of engines and, like, parts and that kind of shit from plants that they thought were going to get struck to plants that ended up getting struck because the UAW disseminated bogus information about which plants they were likely going to target.
I'd love to see that.
So, like, they're, like, spreading rumors about which facilities they're going after and then actually going after different facilities that they move shit to. And so, like, that alone has been costing the three companies, like, tens of millions of dollars alone. And the method of stand-up strike also is, like, this four-dimensional chess kind of shit because, like, only having, like, going up to, like, select facilities and, like, targeted strikes allows the UAW to, like, stretch out its strike fund by not having to pay all of its workers and by basically forcing the big three companies to have to continue paying most of the UAW workers during a strike. And they also don't know where or when the workers are going to go on strike.
This quote from Brandon Mansilla, UAW Region 9A director. He said, quote, instead of bargaining in good faith and understanding our demands and meeting us at the table, these companies are conducting strikes on themselves.
Stellantis, their stock is still trading at $19 a share. They're worth $180 billion in revenue. Like, Jesus Christ.
And the three CEOs, their salaries combined is like $72 million or something.
You motherfuckers, you can pony some up, baby.
The thing is,
Share
dude,
it.
like, the barrier to entry for auto manufacturing.
Oh, yeah.
It's notable that Joe Biden's White House has confirmed that Biden will not be going to the picket lines.
It's true.
So,
what?
You know who is, though?
The so-called most pro-union
AOC
president since FDR can't be bothered to get off his own ass.
Yeah, but did you hear his... I mean, like, dude, it's fine. Did you hear the speech he gave, though? Where he literally said, like, no one really wants a strike, but if the auto manufacturers aren't going to pay what the people are owed, then, like, they deserve it, basically. Like, Joe Biden, like, he very much was very positive towards the strike in a speech. So, if he's not going to go, like, that's whatever. Who gives a fuck?
No, it's just, like, this is just bad politics.
Bernie's going to go?
It's like, yeah, Bernie's already been.
Yeah, okay. Chris Small's going to go? AOC's going to go? I don't know. You said, who do you think's going to go? And I'm trying to answer Jesse's question. Who?
No. I said,
I thought you were asking, like, an actual... Okay.
No, I was. I just forgot what I was talking about.
Like, it's just bad politics because, like, this is, like, a gimme.
Yeah, but, you know...
Like, Trump has figured, put two and two together. He's going to Michigan later this month to talk to the union workers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but do you think he supports the strike, though?
No, he doesn't. But, like, that's not the point.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the same
Because,
time,
like, at least Trump's going to, like, give lip service to it, regardless of whether he means it, is not the point. It's like, it's just very easy to just show up and be like, I'm here.
Alright, I got it.
If shit libs, like, like Hakeem Jeffries can be bothered to go, even though, like, Hakeem Jeffries, like, hates anything that's to the left of Nancy Pelosi. He can figure this out. Oh, yeah, this is, like, a good idea politically for me. It doesn't help that Biden already broke.
So AOC is going to go? Did AOC go?
Probably.
Alright. It doesn't help that Biden what? Sorry.
It doesn't help that Biden already broke a major union strike already this year.
Yeah, but do you think he's going to break this strike?
No.
Okay.
And with Shawn Féin running the UAW, I don't think that would matter if he tried.
Alright. I mean, okay. Well, I'm just looking at it in more of like a glass half full that, like, maybe it's better that Biden doesn't go down to the picket line, but whatever.
Yeah, that
starts talking about corn pop, he takes out his legs and is like, touch my hairs. You know.
Or he acted on the call as an auto worker, like a
lion dog face pony soldier.
Oh boy.
He's our president now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck, dog? That sucks, dog.
To answer the question, it was John Fetterman was who I was referring to.
Yeah, John Fetterman. Apparently got in his pickup truck and drove out to Michigan.
From Washington? From D.C.?
Yeah.
Ah! That's awesome.
And he's like, I know who my class allies are, and it's the workers. Apparently,
That's right.
Fetterman also caused the Senate to abolish its dress code.
Yeah, the Senate dropped the dress code because Fetterman kept showing up in hoodies and gym shorts.
So based, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he kept on showing up to like Senate press conferences, and everybody's like in a suit, and there's Fetterman. He's wearing flip-flops, jean shorts, and a hoodie.
And there was like a number of times where like he wasn't allowed in when they had a vote, so he had to like stand outside of the chamber and like did the vote there. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. And it's funny, it's like the House of Representatives will not be dropping this dress code. If you want to enter the House chamber, you have to be wearing proper attire. But in the Senate, you can wear jean shorts and flip-flops for all we care now.
Dude, he really is like a working class, like, oh man, he does he rules. Here's what I'm worried about though, is that now that they dropped their dress code, like, what is Kristen Sinema gonna show up in and shit? Like, come on. So anyway, sorry, Jesse.
I might as well say this because it's something I actually wrote out ahead of time, because I've had like 2 separate conversations with people about the UAW strike. One of them was on Discord, and I'm just going to read that because it's much more concise than anything else that I've tried to get forward. I love the way Shawn Fain responds to questions and comments, which are always framed in language that reflects the interests of the owning class by reflecting the same questions and comments from a working class perspective. I love the way it demonstrates labor power, particularly on the back of recent conflicts, because it shows the working class that organization is possible, effective, and materially beneficial to all workers. I love the way it forces elected officials to address the contradictions of neoliberal capitalism. I like the way it exposes fealty to the owning class, forcing politicians to prove their quote-unquote pro-union credentials, or expose themselves as liars and opportunists. Though our collective memory is so short that these moments of exposure will almost certainly be forgotten by constituents unless we frequently remind those constituents. I dislike when politicians want to be on the right side of history, but are afraid to talk about class conflict in dialectical terms, and so they default to quote-unquote middle class, which is so nebulous that nearly all Americans put themselves in that category, regardless of their relationship to the means of production or even their material circumstances. I wish these struggles were more overtly socialistic, but I fully acknowledge the lack of class consciousness in America, and so I accept that while there is immense value in Americans asserting their labor power, the coverage and discussion of these struggles will be limited to conflicts that only affect Americans, while rampant exploitation in other nations is what allows Americans to live in relative material security. I think it's important to listen to and support the striking workers while discouraging tailism and other chauvinistic attitudes that offset the gains made by the working class. That's my body of thought.
Based.
Nice. Yeah. Is it Sinn Féin? Is that how you say it?
Shawn Féin. Did I say Sinn? Did I say Sinn
No,
Féin?
I'm just asking for myself. I didn't.
Because it's Sean? No, that's just Shawn.
It's Sinn.
Oh, you're asking about the political party.
I'm asking how to pronounce it.
No, they're two different
Sinn
things.
Féin.
There's Sinn Féin and then there's Shawn Féin.
What is
Shawn Féin is the union president. Sinn Féin is the Irish left.
Whoa, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
over here?
It's insanely similar.
The fuck is going on here?
It's uncanny, yeah.
Shawn Féin. Why was this allowed? What? Come on.
I love it, dude. Because it makes me happy every time. Makes me happy every time.
And it's with it.
Oh, it's SHAWN. Oh.
I'm so annoyed. It's fine. Ooh, he was born in 1968 or 1969. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, folks. Talk about the fossil fuel subsidies now.
Wait, so
Sinn Féin has nothing to do with this at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's so wild. Anyways, Shawn Féin shit, that's so good. Yeah, I'll shut up now.
No, Sinn Féin is the most popular political party according to the most recent polling.
In Northern Ireland?
No, in Ireland.
Oh, shit.
We took all the country. They're taking it all.
Yeah. So, according to the IMF's own numbers, fossil fuel subsidies,
Hold on a second, Joe.
Yeah.
Why does it sound like you're underwater?
Because he's underwater.
Alright.
I sound like I'm underwater.
Yeah, your audio quality is even worse than usual.
Huh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm using a different pair of headphones.
Oh, okay, that's why. Whatever.
We'll fight through it anyway.
sorry, listeners.
IMF. They're lying to us, or they're telling the truth.
The IMF's analysis concludes that global, fossil fuel subsidies from governments around the world totaled over $7 trillion last year, which is equivalent to 7% of global GDP, almost double what the world spends on education, and that's about the equivalent of $13 million worth of fossil fuel subsidies per minute over the course of the calendar year.
Yep.
So, that's bad.
And this is from, the IMF of all places, where, yeah.
If only China would agree to a better...
Yeah. Only they were keeping their side of the bargain. You know?
Well, we do absolutely nothing.
We don't do nothing. We give $13 million in subsidies every minute, Joe.
Yeah. America.
Other countries gotta carry their own slack as far as burning
we
coal.
were gonna do the coup on Bolivia.
Well, no, we tried the coup on Bolivia. It just wouldn't take. They wouldn't listen to us. They were unreasonable.
We already did the coup on Chile, so
Chile.
Can't do another one of those. This is all in regard to harvesting that sweet, sweet lithium. By the way, that wasn't a very clear reference.
These are all very bad jokes.
About how the United States is pretending to introduce renewable energy, which usually means doing a coup.
Yeah. Elon Musk tweeting after the Bolivia coup. We can do whatever we want. Deal with this.
I guess you don't always have to do a coup.
Yeah, you do.
You can just do comprador capitalism like they do in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a whole other technique you can do.
What is it?
Basically having like a puppet leader.
Oh.
It's like Jesus, Carlene. It's like it's basically a bribe.
Oh.
I don't know why I need to add a ton of nuance to it.
Yeah, it's like having a puppet leader that you bribe as like keeping them as like a client state actor.
No, it's the most effective system. Okay.
Western countries call it foreign direct investment. What it really is imperialism.
You're on the payroll. You're on the imperial payroll.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got you on the payroll, but now you have to be like our bitch.
Yeah. You got to convince these guys to cut all their public funding so that we can get more.
You got to privatize everything, and all.
Give us your fucking manganese.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me your fucking copper.
Yeah, you know what you should give us?
The
Our
New York
fucking
Times.
plane.
I saw a
The
headline
plane.
yesterday.
No, we make the planes. We sell the planes.
Yeah, and we also...
They don't make the
How does
planes.
no, this is about like the thing Jesse's talking about.
I'm not even listening to you anymore, Joe. I'm doing my own bit now.
The headline is Ghana is essentially bankrupt and has asked for its 17th financial rescue since 1957. Can its debt trap of crisis and bailouts be stopped? Yes, if the military stages a coup like in Burkina Faso, Mali, or
I literally can't even hear you. Like your headphones suck, dude. I'm sorry. You're clipping every time you get a little bit louder than normal.
Yeah, Joe.
It sounds like farts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's not really. He's gonna have a lot of editing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I always have a lot of editing to do, but
well,
it'll be a lot. It'll be more, even more than that.
All right, can we move on to the plane then?
The plane. Oh, that I get it now.
What
that
the
was
fuck,
a segue.
dude?
My bad. I didn't realize that was a segue.
That's great. I love it. I love how disorganized this shit is every time. It's so good.
Well, it's just like the least applicable thing. Like planes, it's our primary export. The United States. Like it's the only thing we
hasn't lost a
actually manufacture and export on our own anymore.
Yeah, what country's military hasn't lost $1 million plane or millions of dollars?
No, it's $156 million plane.
That's expensive.
But then they were tweeting out to the public, asking like, "If you have seen this, call this 1-800 number."
Yeah, you got my plane over there, girl? Yo, girl.
Here's what I've learned, right?
Got my plane?
I keep my wallet on a chain.
Never lose it.
So we should chain our planes?
Yeah, why don't you just chain the pilot to the plane?
What the fuck? Oh, God. But they found the plane, depressingly
It took them 26 hours to find a plane that crashed 60 miles away from the base it took off from.
Where did it crash? Like, I thought it was going to be, like, in the water.
It crashed in rural northeast South Carolina.
Northeast South Carolina.
Rural northeast South Carolina. That's the greatest. Yeah, that should be a fucking novel. The name of a novel. Rural northeast South Carolina.
Have we talked about this on the pod before? But there's a town called West, South Carolina. But it's east of a town called North, South Carolina.
That's where the real strange shit in America happens. Right there, folks. Between
North South Carolina and East South Carolina.
Yes. That's where all the cryptids come from. Oh my god. So,
I'm looking from the tweet because it's just too funny.
Oh, what the fuck's so funny about the damn tweet, dog?
Quote: "We are working with Marine Corps Air Station
It says this?
Buford to locate an F-35 that was involved in a mishap this afternoon. The pilot has ejected safely. If you have any information that may help our recovery teams locate the F-35, please call the Base Defense Operations Centers at 843-963-3600.
The responses to it were so good too, but like they're all dipshits. Like they're all reactionaries, so I don't want to give any of them credit. But if you want to read through the replies,
just do it.
Look at the message, not the messenger.
Just skip it.
This comes 7 months after, like, the U.S. government freaked the fuck out when a Chinese weather balloon drifted over U.S. territory.
You mean a communist spy balloon?
Yeah, they were trying to spy us with communism.
What, like, U.S. is somehow incapable of keeping track of a plane that's within its own airspace. And it takes 4 different government agencies over a full day to find a plane that is within their own airspace.
I still think the fucking balloon thing is so funny, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's been so long, but it's so funny.
Oh my god, dude.
God damn, what a fucking weird country, dude. It's so, fucking like paranoid.
That's so
Like, it's over here. Like, America's over. Like, getting paranoid about fucking, like, balloons and shit.
That's so funny.
Like, balloon enthusiasts and shit. Gonna outlaw being a balloonist.
Like tens of millions of dollars to send expensive fighter jets to go shoot down $200 balloons from somewhere in Illinois.
Yeah. It's fucking over. America's
It was like
done.
drifting on the wind. They were like, it's making unexpected maneuvers. It's like, it's the weather. It's a fucking weather balloon. That's what it's supposed to do.
African swallow? Joe, you making a fucking Monty Python reference?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I would have never picked up on that.
I wish you had a better mic so we could have actually heard that, but yeah. Anyways.
I don't know what to do, folks. I've bought Joe a mic, and it didn't work for him for some reason.
The headphones that do work kind of died. I forgot to recharge them. So.
No, I bought you a standalone USB mic.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the light to go from red to green for, so I don't know how that happens, but
Couldn't get the right to the left of the, yeah.
But Trump is quoted as saying in November 2017, quote, "So amazing we are ordering hundreds of millions of dollars of new airplanes for the Air Force, especially the F-35. You like the F-35? You can't see it. You literally can't see it. It's hard to fight a plane. You can't see.
You can't fly it apparently either.
No, you can't.
Fucking crashes. Yeah. Piece of shit.
It really is.
Why is it such a piece of shit? What happened? Like, what were they doing?
The U.S. government has spent $1.7 trillion on the F-35 program, and it has produced a plane that cannot fly in the rain. It has a 1 in 3 probability of exploding upon landing.
Good God.
The first variant, the F-35A, had a 1 in 5 probability of decapitating the pilot if they needed to eject from the plane.
Wait,
there are dozens of instances of F-35s like accidentally shooting themselves.
Is that a Lockheed contract?
Yes.
Who makes the F-35?
Lockheed Martin makes the F-35.
Like, what happened? How do you make something so bad? Like, what are you talking about? 1 in 3 chance that it explodes on landing? After every battle, it's just like a stream of exploding planes just landing on aircraft carriers? Like, what the fuck? That's awesome and hilarious. How do they do that?
Also, the planes need to be repainted every time they land because the engines, like, burn away part of the paint job.
Even the Soviet MiGs were, like, extremely reliable for one mission. They always flew at least once. They would just sometimes they would fly so fast that like they had to replace the jets on them.
Yeah, Soviet technology was always a lot more reliable. Our shit is just expensive and doesn't work.
But like, what did they do? Seriously, what did they do? Did they get like some like bad formula in the steel? Like, what the fuck? Why is it so shitty?
Because it's really just like designed to basically be like, we just want all of the military contracts.
What? The fuck does that mean, Joe?
The military has done like a really bad job of innovating.
I mean, it doesn't help when you are a government department that cannot keep track of more than 40% of your assets in a given calendar year.
Huh.
I think it's the same problem that the U.S. has with, like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, I needed to get lavender.
It's like the same problem that the United States has when it comes to, like, European research. They're just like,
fuck this. We don't believe that. We're doing it ourselves.
They kind of have the same approach to, like, manufacturing.
To weapons manufacturing?
Yeah, like, with their Ospreys and their fancy ass planes and everything.
There was actually an incident with an Osprey like a month ago or whatever that actually killed a few Marines.
Oh yeah, another one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like in the article about the F-35 crash. Like, oh yeah, this is just another incident for the Marine Corps.
Oh, this was a Marine pilot?
This was a Marine Corps F-35 that crashed. 60 miles away from its home base in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Should have chained the guy to the plane. Please.
I texted one of my buddies who lives in Charleston, and I was like, "Hey, the government's like fucked up, and like there's a really expensive plane that's crashed in your neck of the woods. So like, find your keepers if you find it, right?
Let's fly it.
I'll be right back.
It's gonna be right back. So, Joe.
Yes.
What's going on with that audio?
I don't know. It seems fine on my end.
So what's going on with Canada?
India has been accused of carrying out a political assassination of a religious leader in the Indian diaspora.
It's pretty bad.
I'm back.
So, so was this person they were a Canadian citizen?
Yes.
Why did they kill him?
He is a Sikh leader, which is like a
Sikh.
Sikh, yeah.
The Sikh leader, and
he's a sick leader, dude.
He's a prominent community organizer. He's supportive of an independent Sikh homeland. And the Indian government in the past has accused him of being a terrorist. And he was shot outside of a Sikh temple back in June in Canada. And the Canadian government has formally accused the Indian government of being behind the assassination.
Yeah, they probably were, to be honest.
Since Trudeau made that accusation, it was either yesterday or Sunday, Canada has expelled one of India's top diplomats, and the Canadian ambassador in New Delhi has been expelled and given 5 days to leave the country.
Wow.
Bless you, Carlene.
So what do you think, Joe? World War III?
No, but it is interesting.
You think it's not going to get thrown into the miasma of it all? Of Russia, Ukraine, China, North Korea, everybody?
Dude, Jamal Khashoggi got, blended and nothing happened. So, yeah, probably nothing.
Jesse does have a point.
Yeah.
But, he's a journalist, not a religious leader of a religion that has 25 to 30 million adherents. So, there is that.
I guess.
But yeah, probably nothing will happen.
Okay. So we'll
march towards World War III in a different way.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say watch this space.
No. Yeah. Yep. So what happened in Libya? Sorry, I'm being an asshole.
Libyan water shortage. There was a flood.
Why did it say Libya water shortage?
You wrote that.
If anything, it was too much water.
God, that is
Wait, Libya's flood survivors weigh water shortage against landmine risk. So there is a water shortage, and there's landmines. But yes, more importantly, there was flood.
Wait a second. Where does it say that?
On the fucking article.
The article that I posted?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, I got you.
Dicks.
Unfortunately, Libya was hit with a serious flood event last week.
Yep.
Or I guess 2 weeks ago now.
It was on September 10th, so.
Many casualties. The death toll is past 10,000. Some locals, for instance, the mayor of Derna estimated 20,000 deaths. It's hard to get numbers. This is a really horrible event for so many reasons. Most of the time, post-flood, even in the United States, this isn't a thing that's specific to underfunded governments or poor communities. There's usually disease outbreaks because the water it gets completely contaminated, and that is made worse when you have literally piles of corpses trapped under rubble. Then you can throw into that.
So that's some bad water.
Yeah, it's very unhealthy.
Throw into that, everybody shit, throw up.
That's what I was going to say is you mix sewage in there, you mix toxins that may come from building materials, everybody's livestock, chemicals from factories, people who don't have access to housing or medical care are obviously going to have a harder time recovering from those diseases. So this is a gigantic humanitarian disaster. I don't have any good news. I don't have any positive perspective on this. I just wanted to make sure that people know that this has happened because it's not getting the same kind of coverage as the earthquakes in Syria and Turkey, because Libya is not directly involved in America's imperial power grab anymore.
Yeah.
We have already destroyed that country.
Yeah, I was about to say, we already did that.
Like, it is mentioned, the second to last paragraph in the writer's article, just in passing, casually mentions, quote, the country of 7 million people has lacked a strong central government since a NATO-backed uprising that toppled Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, and its oil wealth is dispersed among competing groups.
Hillary Clinton did it, basically.
Well,
yeah.
She literally said, we came, we saw.
He died, baby.
He died.
Oh,
and then she started cackling like...
And then laughed about it. That's sick, bitch.
She cackled like a supervillain.
Yes, she sucks. She's one of the plethora of supervillains that we have in our modern era. Elon Musk, her, Zuckerberg, I don't know.
So, did you hear about the fact that Elon Musk basically tweeted, like...
Stop talking about Twitter!
Basically what he tweeted was like a hop, skip, and a leap short of, the Jews are, like, in control of everything.
A hop, skip, and a jump.
Hop, skip, and a hootie. How do you do?
Yeah, he's slowly adopting a paranoid outlook based on the elder principles of Zion.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's only a matter of time before he just starts tweeting out, like, the protocols of the elder of Zion.
Yeah. Folks, you should read.
It does,
I don't know if you should read that, though.
This probably goes without saying, but I do have to mention, like, these flooding events do tend to get more severe as the planet gets warmer.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sucks, doesn't it?
And they're also dealing with the same kind of issues with desertification as we have out west in the American Southwest.
You know, when the U.S. Air Force isn't bombing them indiscriminately.
I honestly don't know what a reputable organization to donate to would be. I would normally say Doctors Without Borders, but like the official Médecins Sans Frontières, whatever the fuck I don't speak French. That language just sounds like garbage.
Médecins Sans Frontières.
Oh my god. That we're talking, yeah. Hey, that's the joke you should take out now.
No, I'm leaving that one in.
Yeah, leave the,
they deserve. Especially after the last episode, man.
That was the fucking French.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Quote unquote, the French.
What do you mean, quote unquote, the French?
France collectively got upset with Merriam-Webster, apparently, for using
the French as an example of a generalization. And the French embassy in Washington, D.C. had like a fit, and they were like, this racism towards France will not be tolerated.
Yeah, it's really like oppression Olympics, like I've never seen. So they managed to get Merriam-Webster to apologize.
Oh, man.
But I won't. I will not apologize.
You won't back down? No.
I won't. Come at me, France.
Oh, boy.
Macron.
Or to quote the team from the D program, they're not real.
They're just not.
No. As a people, or as a country, or as a substance? Okay, I believe
just
it.
The concept of France doesn't exist.
Yeah. That does free up a lot of historical mental space.
It pisses me off, dude, that like the Organization of African Nations, all of their speeches ended up being in
French
because they were colonized so fucking thoroughly. It's just disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
The amount of sheer imperial conquest is sickening.
Yeah,
speaking of imperial conquest,
world we live in.
John Kerry was, I don't know why the fuck he was in France.
We're talking about John Kerry.
He was trying to make some claim that like somehow the Iraq War was not like a war of imperial conquest. Because he was asked some kind of question about like, isn't it hypocritical, like a double standard for the US to be like accusing Russia of engaging in a war of like imperial conquest when you guys just did like Iraq 20 years ago? And he's like, oh, that was different.
Yeah, that was for
women's rights.
Checks notes.
Yeah.
And I don't even speak French, and I could tell that this guy was like, yeah, this is full of shit.
He doesn't even speak French.
You are full of shit.
He doesn't even speak French.
You are full of wee-wee.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't even speak a word of French. He doesn't speak a lick of French.
Oh, God.
My grandmother's fluent in French, though.
Get her on the show, then.
No.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay, don't. All right, fine.
Oh wait, that's not the Portuguese one. Never mind.
No.
All right.
Don't get her on the show.
Let's turn down the volume.
She would be very upset with us, I think, if she was on the show.
Yeah. From Joe's stories, I believe it would be true. So let's be traumatizing then.
Okay.
With the Massachusetts, what's going on? Electric shock therapy. It's back, baby, in fashion. It's bad.
I don't understand how Massachusetts, in many regards, manages to be considerably more progressive than the national norm, and then at the same time manages to be extremely regressive, as in the case of electric shock therapy for disabled children. And this is not electroconvulsive therapy. This is not a welcome treatment as arcane as ECT is. This is used to punish children who misbehave at the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center. That's what it's called.
Austere ass name. I like it.
So this is as of September 8th. The highest court of the state allowed electric shock therapy to be used on, quote, disabled patients in, I believe it's Canton, Massachusetts. This is the only school in the entire country that is allowed to deploy electric shocks as a form of punishment. And in this case, they are shocking disabled children. So this has actually been an ongoing issue since fucking 1985. The state started fighting the school in 1985, and families of the residents and the school itself sued the state to continue allowing this treatment. Then there was a case in 2010. The lower court judge, Catherine Field of Bristol County Probate Court, had found that high-ranking officials at the State Department's Developmental Services in 2010 altered a staff report to remove a finding that JRC was in substantial compliance with state requirements, and that the department in 2011 tried to impose a moratorium on the use of shock treatment for new patients without reviewing scientific evidence. So again, this is not ECT, this is punishment. Continuing on, in 2013, the state sought to terminate the consent order altogether before Judge Field's ruling in 2018 that it was still necessary because of state regulators' bad faith conduct. A federal appeals court in 2021 ruled in a separate case that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration could not ban the shock device. Nobody wants this shit except for a few very sadistic parents, perhaps, but certainly the people in charge of the fucking school.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Videos of this surfaced a couple of years ago, and the student was very clearly terrified, in distress, and in a lot of pain. I think that was what initially brought attention back to this issue, but since then there has been no progress. Must be because this is a fucking private school.
Yeah.
Private institution where they can do whatever they want to your child.
I know that this kind of shit, not electric shock therapy, but like, for instance, in Maine, such thorough privatization of the school system, particularly Catholic schools, basically leaves some families with like no public alternative. So they basically have to send their kid to a school where they're going to get abused.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But we're supposed to be the most progressive state in the country.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that there's a connection between, Massachusetts ostensibly has a higher standard of living, higher quality of living or whatever, but
we also do electric shock therapy on disabled children.
Yeah, you can also see how, like, the influence of money, which is probably responsible somewhat for that increased standard of living, is also being used to fund institutions like this. What I would normally say is, like, find out who your representative is. Comrade Rosie, the website is still up, comrade-rosie.org. You can actually use that tool, I believe, still. Let me double check. Comrade-rosie.org. Go to the Getting Involved tab. Go down to number 2, contact your state legislators. Click on the Find My Legislator button, and there it is.
Call him a sucker.
Any other thoughts about this, Joe, Scott?
Beyond it's incredibly fucked up, I can't really think of anything.
I think it's important that we let people know that there are terrible things happening in our state, and we should do all we can to stop them.
I mean, think about like the complete lack of autonomy these kids have. Even if they are absolutely terrified and hate it, they're just going to be labeled as mentally ill and nobody's going to take them seriously. So you and we have to speak on behalf of them and say that we don't want to be hurt anymore.
Yes. Wow. Powerful words.
Please tell me we have a more positive thing to follow that up with.
Yeah. So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
We do.
Shoe.
There's now a monument
Did you
to
forget
that
about
shoe.
the shoe?
I forgot about the shoe.
You can't forget about the fucking shoe, dude. There's always room for shoe. I don't know.
There is always room for shoe.
What the fuck? Okay.
I mean, because we're talking about the shoe.
Yes. Okay then. I see the circular reasoning. Okay. Anyways.
There must be room for shoe.
Anyways, is it literally like there's a monument for the shoe that was thrown at George H.W. Bush?
No, George Bush the Lesser.
George W. Bush. Well, George Bush the Lesser, wouldn't that be George H.W. because he sucks?
George H.W. is the senior.
I know.
He was actually less terrible than his.
He was a lesser shit. He did less shit. He had one term.
I don't know if he was that much better, but he was less like overtly. He wasn't as much of a dunce. Like I feel like Cheney was supremely fucking evil, but he had less of a spotlight on him because he wasn't an idiot.
So he was the one who was effectively in charge.
I don't know, man. They're all bad. They're fucking American president. When was the last time we've said anything good about a U.S. president on this show?
Again, to quote the program, all U.S. presidents are war criminals.
Yeah.
All of them?
It's kind of like a prerequisite for
every single one?
Yes.
Yeah, just about.
Scott.
Even Chester A. Arthur?
I'm sure he did something terrible that I can't think of.
Whoever the fuck that guy is.
All right.
If you give me half an hour, I can come up with something.
I'm sure he committed unspeakable atrocities.
He did have a terrible mustache.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Ragging on a guy's mustache? I don't know.
He's been dead for 150 years. Who cares?
He's gonna haunt you now. That's all he's gonna do.
Anyway, so
He's
yes.
gonna come to your house and haunt you. He's gonna be like, what are you talking about?
So in Iraq.
What's the town?
I don't know. What the fuck?
The shoe.
Yeah. So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
Tikrit. Hold on, I'm gonna look up the pronunciation of that.
Tikrit is actually where Saddam Hussein is from.
Oh. Joe, what's your opinion
I
on
do
Saddam
not
Hussein?
trust howtopronounce.com. Tikrit.
Joe, what are your thinking?
Tikrit. Those are the two pronunciations I got. Tikrit. And Tikrita. neither of which sound correct.
Joe, get this. Chester A. Arthur had no vice president.
So he just did enough war crimes for the both of them. Fuck it.
God damn it.
So yes, in Tikrit.
Oh shit, you're probably right. He probably was. God damn it.
This town in Iraq, they have like a giant shoe to commemorate the shoe thrown at George W. Bush, which is based as fuck.
Can we make that the episode art?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quote, this statue is the least expression of our appreciation for Muntazir al-Zaidi because Iraqi hearts were comforted by his throw.
Oh my god. That's a nice little thing.
He called Bush a dog. Like a dog.
Well, he was. He did this. You throw shoes at dogs, and he followed through.
No, don't throw shoes at dogs. Don't throw shoes at dogs. Don't throw shoes at cats.
Unless you're playing catch with them.
Yeah, that's where you're throwing it to them.
Yeah. It is likely Chester A. Arthur did do some.
Of course he did, dude.
War
Do you
crimes.
really
The
think
American Indian Wars were still happening during his presidency.
Yeah, exactly.
So never mind.
That's why he didn't have vice president, because he was the idiot who was in charge after Garfield got shot.
Fatin Abdul Khader, head of an orphanage and children's organization in the town, said the 1.5-ton monument by artist Laith Al-Amiri was titled Statue of Glory and Generosity.
I love that.
I don't really understand how it was a generous act per se, but I stand this giant shoe.
Yeah, it was an expression of something we were all feeling.
Yeah.
We stand the shoe.
None of us had the balls to go and physically throw our footwear at the most powerful man in the world.
And then spend 6 months in prison as a result of said shoe throwing. Because the guy who threw the shoe at Bush was in prison for 6 months because of that.
Okay, yeah, well that sucks.
Wait a second, how old is this story, Joe? On Reuters it said updated 15 years ago.
No, I said he spent 6 months in prison.
No, I'm looking at the link, and it looks like this is the story from 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one who posted the link.
I did not.
Yeah, you did, actually.
Oh.
Anyways. Oh, my God. We love it. That's so good.
Mike posted it.
The fuck is Mike?
Mike G?
Yeah, this is from 2009.
Oh, boy.
Fucking throwback. Who cares? Fuck.
Remember to celebrate it.
Fuck.
Attack type shoe throwing. Anyways, wow.
I should cut that out.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? That was fun. I love it. I love it, guys. This is so good. This is so good. Make that a Patreon exclusive right there. Who gives a shit?
All my homies hate America. Fuck America.
Oh my God, we are idiots. I love it. Is there any other positive thing we could actually put in place?
No.
No, Joe is putting his foot down. No. Speaking of shoes.
Did anybody see anything about the fossil fuel protests outside the Fed the other day?
Outside the Fed?
During the UN General Assembly, like a bunch of climate protesters were blocking the entrance to the New York branch of the Federal Reserve Bank.
I didn't see that, no. I saw a bunch of Extinction Rebellion people protesting in the State House.
They were demanding like an end to fossil fuel funding, subsidies and funding.
Oh.
Actually, I do have a positive thing.
2018, a group of San Diegans hurled flip-flops at a screen displaying Donald Trump's State of the Union address, January 30th. I got more. September 7th, Cardi B threw a red stiletto at Nicki Minaj.
So you're just like listing incidents of people throwing shoes at people?
Yes. How do you?
Keep going while I find the
June
thing.
10th at Summerbursts Festival 2017, Stockholm, Justin Bieber had a shoe thrown at him because he could not remember the lyrics to the Spanish single
Despiaco, or
I don't know.
Despacito, I think?
Despacito, thank you. Las Vegas, 2014, 10 April, Las Vegas, Nevada. A female protester threw a shoe at Hillary Clinton during a scrap metal recycling conference. What the fuck? Clinton was not hit. Clinton was not hit by the shoe and subsequently joked about it. Okay. Wow.
Is this like that time a few years ago where like someone threw a dildo at like a cabinet minister in New Zealand?
Oh yeah. The drone dildo?
A drone dildo?
That was a separate one, I think. There was a guy that just got he had multiple dildo assaults. All of them were based.
Sorry for that. Sorry.
No, we're not.
That's funny.
Get fucking dildoed. Get dildoed. But anyway, so this article is in Spanish, so I don't really trust the Firefox translation of it, but China and Venezuela signed a combined 31 bilateral agreements.
Oh, I did see something about this.
This is from Geopolitical Economy Report. Maduro met with Chinese President Xi Jinping and signed 31 comprehensive agreements involving collaboration in a wide array of areas, including economic integration and trade, geology and mining, health, technology transfer, construction of public housing, energy, infrastructure, telecommunications, and even outer space. So now...
Outer space. Sorry.
So yeah, aren't they like basically being integrated into like the Silk Road Initiative?
Well, now China considers Venezuela to be an all-weather strategic partnership, which is basically like a bros before hoes of Chinese diplomacy. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's like fucking ride till we die kind of Chinese partner, which is extremely cool because obviously Venezuela.
Obviously, we've been trying to like destroy and dismantle that country for like 20 years now.
Yeah, like at the heart of the Bolivarian Revolution is the fact that the United States and its allies completely crippled the Venezuelan economy by
illegally sanctioning it to death.
Yeah, by making it impossible for them to profit off of their by far staple export, that
Which
being,
is oil.
Of course, oil. But you have to be nuanced about it, and you can't just be a fucking lib because, like, the Venezuelan economy kind of hinges on the fact that it can resume a decent level of exports, and because China is now at the cutting edge of its renewable energy program, China is basically saying here, like, yeah, we'll buy your oil, and that means that Venezuela will have...
The ability to pursue renewables.
Right. It's a win-win, basically.
And also they're not at the mercy of the Federal Reserve and the IMF anymore.
Right. And China is very supportive of Venezuela joining BRICS, as am I.
Yeah.
BRICS.
It'd be a very positive development.
It's mighty.
Mighty.
Oh boy.
Letting it all hang out.
Joe, would you let it all hang out? I don't even want to know the answer to that.
Dude, look how happy Maduro looks in this picture.
What?
I'll post it.
Post the picture.
Look how big his smile is.
I can't see shit.
Look how big his smile is.
I don't got no eyes. I don't know what they are.
Scott can't read, and apparently he cannot see.
Oh yeah, look at him. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And he's Scott and sweaty wife.
You're gonna take care of this for me. Okay.
No, I can't.
My name's Scott. I'm sweaty wife on the internet, online, whatever. It's fine, Joe. Whatever.
I'm Joe. I am tired of doing constant government like healthcare bullshit. So
yeah, Hakeem
I usually don't have the energy for the internet, so I'm just here. And he's Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm Jesse. You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/@contingentsboston, CONTINGENCE Boston.
I have a slam recommendation this evening.
Your slam recommendation is...
Oh, fucking hide your kids. Hide your wife.
This is quite possibly the heaviest slam recommendation of all time.
All time.
This is an album entitled Violence and the Macabre. And the artist is Down from the Wound. They are from the motherfucking Philippines. They are from the island of Luzon. What is their hometown? Olongapo. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is what like 2014 slam sounds like. It's fucking wild, dude. Imagine being in that crowd.
Heavy dog. You can find us.
It's not done.
Again.
It's still going, boy.
Fuck me.
It's still fucking me. Going.
Whatever.
That's right, motherfucker. You gotta wait. Having like my own little metal show over here.
You can find us Epic Incredulity on Instagram. We're on Patreon. We're on YouTube and Facebook. Go to those places. Enjoy our content. Marxist. Oh, wow. Why did it come out like that? Marxist menageries. All the fun stuff. Marxist.
I've started narrating a new Parenti book, The Face of Imperialism.
It's the face of it.
Which, in retrospect, I feel bad because, like, you know, for all the menageries, I put the face of the author on the episode artwork. So it's like Michael Parenti's face, and it says the face.
His face is the yeah.
But he's not. Michael Parenti is not the face being referenced. It's the United States, actually, is who it is.
It's in the United States.
It is Ronald Reagan's face.
To pray to Jesus.
No, don't pray to Jesus. Don't pray to Jesus either. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, Kanye West.
Fucking Nazi.
Yeah, unfortunately. Holy shit. Yeah, that's the end of the show. Holy shit. Every week we say Batankdo.
Batankdo.
Oh god, everybody's still into it. It's so good. Anyways, farting on it. That's the epoch.
Farting
on it. Oh man, Joe,
Farting
get a
on
new
it.
fucking mic.
Bursting up in my ass, up in my crack, up in my prostate.
Yeah, get a new mic. That's where I want to hear your audio go, Joe.
Seriously, can I give you some fucking fruit juice? I want some fucking fruit juice.
Yeah, Joe, I want to enjoy your audio. I want it to be smooth like fucking fruit juice as it goes up into my ass and prostate. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Tie that all together. Give me some fucking credit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, more of this? Yeah, stop.
Yeah. So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
I don't fucking know either.
Oh.